Okay, so I just got back. I had to turn the lights on. I was just spreading potash and ammonium sulfate. I know I made a video on it already. I got some questions whether I was still using the Pequea spreader. And the answer to that question is yes, I'm still using the Pequea spreader. They contacted me while I was in Japan, and I said that I would meet with them, and then they said that I told them what day I was going to be back, and he said that they would give me a call then so they could set up a meeting to talk about the Pequea spreader and the other two pieces of equipment that I have, the tedder, the spreader, and the hay rake. Now, because I've got the Pequea spreader here in the shop, because I just pulled in with it, I was spreading my potash and sulfur, ammonium sulfate and potash blend. I want to talk about it a little bit. So it's always good to talk about it. Now, okay, so there's a couple of things. This is not technically a fertilizer spreader, and the lights on that tractor will shut off like that. Amazing, caught on tape. There's a timer on those, so when you get out of the cab, you turn a little bit far and it shuts off, which is great. So anyways, this is not really a fertilizer spreader, but it is a very capable fertilizer spreader. It's actually a 6-ton lime spreader. Now, I tried last year to get lime from a certain place, and it's not that I can't get the lime, is that I don't want to be raped by a truck driver. And the trucking for that lime is actually more than what the lime costs. Now, the benefits of the lime to me, they're probably worth the trucking, but I don't want to spend any more money than I have to on the trucking because it makes no sense. So I found out that I can get eggshells, and the eggshells are starting to release the eggshells. So I'm going to try and get a hold of the eggshell guy, and then I'm going to be putting eggshells through the Pequea spreader. This is the SL-6. Now, if you buy an SL-6, it is a very capable machine for spreading fertilizer. The problem is, and it's not really a problem, but it's a minor problem. Now, the minor problem is that if you set this thing up to put on a small amount, I am putting 150 pounds of potash and ammonium sulfate to the acre. That is it's not really a high rate. I don't want to, you see, I'm in the mulch hay business. I'm not in I do make good hay. I just don't advertise that I do because I hate dealing with horse people. I am a very avid proponent against dealing with horse people. To me, they suck. They are worse than a broken axle on a brand new tractor. That is about what I can compare them to. So, anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, but I don't want to overload my ground or put too much money into the ground that I cannot recover within this year. So, the recommendation for potassium on my fields are somewhere according to the fertilizer plant, and I know those guys they're in business to sell fertilizer, so it lies somewheres in between. So they want 450 pounds of potash to the acre to grow 3 tons of hay to the acre. And if I put 450 pounds, and then that would be good, then next year I wouldn't have to put it on, and possibly then just monitor it to see when I take it off. So I decided that was not going to work for me, that I would put, say, 150 pounds to the acre over the course of 4 years per acre, over 4 years. The rate of removal on mulch hay is less than good hay for the simple reason is I don't cut my mulch hay until later. When you cut that mulch hay, it knocks the seed out of the head, and most of the nutrients that are brought up the stem go into the seed, which falls back to the ground, and of course it breaks down in the soil and becomes the same nutrient that you put on there. Okay, so a lot of people may argue that, but that's just the cold hard facts of it. So the removal rates for of potash are less than it is for good hay. So I'm putting 150 pounds to the acre for the next 40 years, and I'm going to monitor. Maybe I'll do it for 5 years. Maybe I'll do it every year from this point forward. I don't know. It's all in the soil test. Yes, I've done soil testing. Soil testing states that it's okay. We're doing what we're supposed to do. It's working, so I'm going to continue to do it. Last year I had excellent hay. So, back to the spreader. Now, this spreader at 150 pounds at a 7-mile-an-hour rate. These are run by hydraulics. Your apron speed is controlled up here, is right here. You have your spinner speed and you have your apron speed. And the amount of fertilizer that you put on is obviously still controlled by this gate. Now, this gate can go all the way up to 13, so if I was putting on, say, lime, I would be somewhere in this 8 range at this speed or whatever. It all depends. So you go to the Pequea website and there's a really nice area. You punch in the numbers, it spits out the amount that you're supposed to be putting down, and life is good. So I discovered last year that if I went slow, like slow, I'm talking 7 miles per hour. To me, that's slow for putting on fertilizer. This gate had to be at 1 inch. So at 1 inch, what happens is there's not enough weight on the fertilizer to ride the bars and evenly push the fertilizer across and over this shaft here to go through the divider and into the spinners. So what happens is you'd see a surge. So it would surge. So I decided, you know what, this isn't working. I'm getting surges of potash. Now, potash doesn't move too much in the soil. Where you put it, it stays. Imagine if I had a gully washer, maybe it would run off, but we're not having a gully washer right now, so I'm okay. We're supposed to have an inch of snow, and snow puts nutrients right in the ground. So anyways, I decided that wasn't going to work for me, and the best thing to do there was to double my speed. So I went from 7 miles an hour and 1 inch of gate opening to 14 miles per hour and 2 inches of gate opening. And what that has done has increased the pressure or the weight of the material on these bars, and it evenly flows out the back. I don't have that surge anymore. So that's working for me. Now, if I was going to put, say, the 450-pound rate, I could drop that. I could drop my speed to 7 and open that gate another half an inch, and I think that's where I would be, and have 450 pounds the acre, and it would be perfect. The whole entire spread pattern would be perfect, like limestone or lime eggshells, that sort of thing. You're putting on a ton to the acre, or a ton and a half to the acre, or whatever you're putting on. So it's a nice even that drag chain actually is really nice. Now, I talked to Pequea about this thing, and I said that they should not use these bars. If you order this machine, there should be an optional webbed apron chain. And I have a spare one over here. If you know what I'm talking about, whether it's a Wilmar spreader or I think the Newton Crouch. I have a Newton Crouch spreader. Where in the hell is that thing? Well, I don't see it. I had it here. Damn, I had it here. What happened to it? Oh, I think I changed it. Anyways, an apron chain, a webbed apron chain. That brings it out evenly, and then you don't have... See what else will happen, and here's what else will happen, is as these bars go pass under this, the fertilizer will fall through, right, and then it'll land on the back side of these bars, and it'll carry it to the front of the front of the spreader, and that will cause an issue there too, because you're going to have a streak across your field. So ideally, this is not ideally, this isn't really a fertilizer spreader. It does a great job for that. It really does a good job, but precision-wise, you may as well get a Wilmar or something like that. But the Pequea, it's very well-rounded. I mean, if I throw limestone in that, or lime or eggshells or whatnot, it's perfect, because that's what it's really designed for. And for anybody that wants an all-around spreader that you can do both with, you're not going to be precision with your placement of that product, but it's good enough. It's a very reasonable spreader to buy. It's not expensive. You can check out Pequea for that, and price them. They're not really that expensive. I know they're less than a Wilmar and a Newton Crouch of the same size, but you can't spread lime with those Wilmar spreaders, but you can with this. And that's why I think I'm going to buy it when they come back. If I don't buy this one, I want the 10. I want a 10 tonner so I can get more out. at a time. It says 6, I have 10. Extra 4 tons, man, life will be good. But anyways, I got to go home. I got to eat. So thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe for more. And yeah, we are in the field officially. Next is solo cam video.